That vision, almost 2 years now, has now materialized into this formal partnership initiative. And so I stand ready to action in its mandate with the newly installed director, Dr. Ronan Francis, who has also given us support as well too in one of our initiatives in CARICOM last month as well, the Career Tree Initiative as well. So this bill, Mr. Speaker, represents far more than an act of legal domestication. It is a declaration that SIDS do have good leadership and that innovation is something that we are embedding in sustainable land management and in building our climate resilience agenda within our respective countries. Mr. Speaker, this bill does 3 essential things, and you have heard the breakdown from the Leader of Government's business, but to summarize it, first it gives domestic legal effect to the regional agreement establishing PISLM and its headquarters agreement. The second is that it provides retroactive commencement, ensuring the seamless legal continuity between Grenada's signature and the regional entry into force on May 2nd, 2024, and of course the headquarters agreement of June 2025. And third, Mr. Speaker, it clarifies the privileges, the immunities and exemptions necessary for hosting the principal office in Grenada. Standard practice for international organizations has already been followed, but transformative in position in Grenada as the epicenter of Caribbean land resilience policy and coordination. So, Mr. Speaker, we in small island developing states are, of course, no strangers to the harsh realities of land degradation, drought stress, coastal erosion, and soil fertility loss. And if I were draw the memory of this Honorable House back to 2024, and to put it into context, from the beginning of the year last year, we experienced tremendous rainfall. Then we went to an extreme drought. Then we had Hurricane Beryl. So the climatic events and the stresses that comes with the climate crisis is nothing new to small island developing states, Mr. Speaker, who are oftentimes on the front line. They're in the brunt of these challenges. And so to be able to have such an initiative, specifically positioned as well too for Grenada, it is something that we must be commended for, and it shows great leadership for our country. Mr. Speaker, over 75% of our arable land across the Caribbean is classified as either degraded or at high risk of degradation due to extreme weather, unsustainable agricultural practices, and climate-induced hazards. So these impacts compound existing vulnerabilities such as food insecurity, biodiversity loss, and rural poverty. So it is in this context, Mr. Speaker, that the PISLM framework stands as a regional solution to a regional crisis. It is a homegrown mechanism rooted in small islands solidarity, collective expertise, and adaptive capacity. Or in other words, it is about making sure our land can keep producing food, supporting livelihoods, and protecting communities from floods, landslides, and droughts, even as the climate changes. So by domesticating this agreement, Mr. Speaker, Grenada is indeed asserting itself or asserting our role as a regional convener of science, of policy, and a key component, financing, for climate resilient land systems. This initiative is fully aligned, of course, with the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, or the UNC, and the global goal of achieving land degradation neutrality, or the LND, by 2030, which is not too far. It also operationalizes, Mr. Speaker, multiple sustainable development goals, and as I have my pin on today, I it drew my attention to make that comparison, because oftentimes in this house we don't necessarily align some of the bills that is being presented here to the Sustainable Development Goals. The first one being Climate Action, or SDG 13, Mr. Speaker. It also ensures that there is an operationalization occurring for Life on Land, SDG 15, and SDG 2, which is Zero Hunger. By hosting the headquarters of the PISLM in Grenada, Mr. Speaker, we elevate our nation as a regional service and innovation hub for sustainable land management, training and extension services, data collection and monitoring, something that is a challenge for us, but we're working on it, from soil carbon baselines to erosion mapping, and project pipeline development for access to the Global Environment Facility, or the GEF, the Green Climate Fund, or the GCF, and IFAD, and other climate financing instruments. So this institution building for resilience, Mr. Speaker, is ensuring that Caribbean solutions are conceptualized, coordinated, and financed from within the region. Oftentimes, and as traditional climate financing and organization and preparations of project pipelines, it has oftentimes been done outside of the region. And most times when these consultants come in, Mr. Speaker, the entire document is not fit for context and purpose. So to have such an institutional building for resilience having been bred really and coordinated and conceptualized within the region, it is something that we must be commended for as Eastern Caribbean states. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill is not only about governance, it is about empowerment and livelihoods, as I mentioned. It translates environmental stewardship into tangible socioeconomic benefits for our farmers, our foresters, women and youth, those who work the land and depend on it for their survival. And so by restoring our degraded landscapes, we are restoring dignity, we are ensuring food security and economic opportunity in rural Grenada. Things are happening. And so the Ministry of Climate Resilience, Mr. Speaker, together with the Ministry of Economic Development, Agriculture and Lands, in collaboration with the PISLM Secretariat, will ensure finalize a national sustainable land management work plan, identify and map 10 pilot communities for erosion control and drought smart agriculture, and begin training of over 100 local farmers, wardens, and extension officers in integrated sustainable land management techniques. So the overall aim, Mr. Speaker, we intend to submit one multi-country funding proposal under the LDN, under the UNCCD framework, and establish a baseline for hectares under sustainable land management practices. So our goal, in a nutshell, is to restore at least 300 hectares of priority catchments and publish an annual sustainable land management dashboard, tracking the land restoration, soil conservation, and gender and youth participation. So this bill, Mr. Speaker, the provision of it on privileges and immunities are not giveaways, but I think that they are strategic enablers. These exemptions are minimal compared to the inward flow of technical cooperation, innovation funding, and expertise that Grenada will now attract because the Secretariat is located in Grenada. And similarly, the retroactive commencement clause ensures legal continuity between the regional agreements entry into force and our domestic adoption, avoiding any legal vacuum or interpretive uncertainty. So this legislation, Mr. Speaker, reflects Grenada's continued thought leadership within CARICOM and within the Alliance of Small Island States, AOSIS, in addressing the existential threats of climate change through homegrown, evidence-based institution. It also embodies the principle that SIDS are not helpless victims. We oftentimes, even within our ministerial capacity, we speak about our vulnerabilities, we speak about our challenges, but we do not oftentimes speak enough about the opportunities and the innovation and the level of intellectual thought and people, resources, human capacity that we have within our region. So it gives opportunities for that and transforming vulnerability into opportunity through partnership, oversight, and of course, collective will. So by supporting this bill, Mr. Speaker, we are not just hosting an institution, but we are hosting hope. We are hosting hope for sustainable agriculture. We are hosting hope for climate-smart livelihoods and for a Caribbean region that manages its land wisely and manages its seas as well. So with this, Mr. Speaker, I give full support of the bill. I know it will indeed have a rippling effect, a positive effect and impact on the rural economy. Oftentimes we face the most brunt of the climatic events. So I'm happy that we are at this stage, and I give full commendation to the government of Grenada for supporting this initiative.